So good morning, and once again,
Good
my name
morning.
is Jeff Miller. I happen to have the opportunity to be the chair of the board of directors for the Aspire board, and we want to welcome you today to the Agora. We look forward to telling you more about it, but I also want to just say we're off to a great start to today, in spite of some challenging weather and some certainly uncertain circumstances around the world. I want to thank all of you who are here with us today. I'd also like to thank those of you who are joining us virtually. All of you are extremely important to Aspire and the work that we do. I also want to thank you for the support that you provide us, the friendship and the partnership, because it goes a tremendous long way. We're making a significant impact to those that we serve with the Aspire organization. So we want to applaud you and let you know how glad we are to unveil the latest space here within the Aspire network and the Aspire community. We are excited to tell you a little bit about this, but we would not have been able to make this space possible without a tremendous amount of generosity. First and foremost, from the Cook County Board of Economic Development. And we're very fortunate today to have with us a number of representatives, including Cook County Board President, Tony Perkwinkle. Thank you very much for joining us today, along with Deputy Director Dominic Tochi and Grants Coordinator Sylvia Carter. And as I these ways. We'd also like to let me introduce you to the President and CEO of Aspire, Jim Kales, who's going to tell you more about the Agora, what its name represents, and how it's going to transform our community and the lives of those that we work with in Aspire. So thank you again for joining us. Let me introduce you.
Hey.
Thank you so much, Jeff. We are truly blessed to have you as our dynamic and very engaged board chair. We have a small group with us here today. Everybody knows why. But what an honor it is to have Cook County Board President Tony Perkwinkle and some of her fantastic team, Dominic and Sylvia, our partners here in this endeavor from the Cook County Bureau of Economic Development here with us today. Another special person I want to recognize for joining us in person is Jesse Rosas, the Executive Director of the Proviso Township Mental Health Commission. We're proud that Aspire was founded and grew up in the hardworking blue-collar communities of Proviso. And we're thankful for the impactful partnership we have with Jesse and the Commission all the time, but especially during COVID. They've been there donating masks and sanitizers, keeping people safe. Thank you, Jesse, so much. These are indeed, as Jeff mentioned, unusual, uncertain, and challenging times. We're fighting hard to keep the people with developmental disabilities that we serve safe. I know there's Aspire team members watching by Zoom today and Aspire participants watching by Zoom today. To all of our Aspire team members out there, you are doing incredible, inspiring work during this COVID challenge. You're keeping those we serve in 24 community homes across Chicagoland safe, healthy, and connected. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I also want to thank all those Aspire friends and families who joined us by Zoom from near and far. I think my mom is on from Michigan and others from Florida, Arizona, other places, Aspire friends and family members. Thank you. You too have lifted Aspire up during these challenging and sometimes frightening times. We are forever grateful. And here is a moment of joy as we're literally building for the future. We know we'll come back together and we'll be ready for when that time comes. Agora is the ancient Greek word for public gathering space. It's where people and ideas come together. Now, the name for this beautiful space, the Agora, came from our partner architects, Mark, Madonna, and Elma. They're also watching by Zoom. Thank you for this inspired, breathtaking design. Agora, it's the perfect name for what this space you're going to see today is. A place where people of all abilities can gather and learn both in person and virtually, like we're doing today. This is where we will train adults with disabilities for rewarding careers and where we will kick off our new health and wellness initiatives, generously sponsored by the Fred J. Bruner Foundation and the Beal Family Health and Wellbeing Fund. To Michelle Cronin and Maureen Beal, two of our most amazing friends. You've been with Aspire and me step by step in this journey. Together, we're building inspiring paths for people with disabilities into our world. We are grateful beyond words. The Agora will be the starting point for a new center of excellence. We aspire to be a beacon of learning for the people we serve, but also for family members, employers, neighbors, and supporters of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Today, with the tremendous assistance and partnership of President Preckwinkle, Cook County, and the Cook County Bureau of Economic Development, we are one step closer to that goal. In a minute, we're thrilled to have President Preckwinkle share her remarks. But first, let's introduce Jessie, who is involved with Aspire in many different ways you're going to hear about. And then we'll introduce Jason, who works at Aspire as our one and only fabulous receptionist concierge. Jessie?
Good morning to all.
Good morning.
My name is Jesse Flynn. I've been with Aspire since 1998 as a work program that's no longer here, but I've been a participant for Aspire for over 20 years. I have a learning disability, but that doesn't stop me from my goals of reaching the next level of what I can do. I've been here at Aspire for over 20 years. I lived on my own with help with some of the greatest people here. And I've been on the Junior Associated Board, the AD for short, since 2011. My goal is with Aspire is to teach others out there with disability how to work, learn, and be successful as I am. I actually work out in the community, and I'm employed by Casey's Market up in Western Springs, and I have learned majority of all my skills through Aspire and work. And I also wanted to come out and say that with the job of Aspire, Jim, as the president, we actually have a new board that just started a couple months ago for the Leadership Council. And I'm actually part of that board as well. And I'm one of the co-chairs for that board. So I come out and all the activities that we do for that board, we actually come out and have people from Aspire to join us if they wanted. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have. Yes. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
So you've been associated with Aspire for 22 years?
It's going to be 21 years.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
More or
21
less.
years.
Okay, so what's the junior board that you're involved in?
It's a young professional board. We help raise the money for Aspire with events. With one of our biggest events that we have is the Big City Gala every year. We actually, I actually volunteer for that event every year. And that's one of the biggest fundraisers that we have for Aspire.
Did you do it virtually this year or what?
We did not do it virtually, we had it in person, but that was before this COVID-19 started.
Okay,
I'm also a mentor for Aspire. So I help other participants get ready to go out and get a job on their own.
good for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Everyone,
Good morning.
and we are absolutely thrilled to be here. You're absolutely thrilled to be here this morning on this rainy Friday. I wish the weather could be a little bit better, but nonetheless, I was able to get here okay from Kyle. Anyhow, my name is Jason Thompson. I am the reception concierge, and some people may refer me as the ambassador concierge. And my job is to be at the front desk, right around the corner. And what I'm responsible for doing is basically answering calls and transferring calls and helping people get in and out and make sure that, you know, the folks who enter the building are going to where they need to be. And my job is to make sure that they get there really smoothly without any issues. And I've been with Aspire I'm approaching my 5th year as a reception concierge, and Aspire's always been very, very special to me. And I am really deeply blessed and honored to have this wonderful dignity to work really hard at the front desk and do a great job with my duties. And I have some really great goals that I want to accomplish for this company. And in the past, I've talked about the possibility of establishing or expanding the music program. And and also I'm an artist. And so I want to, use my given gifts to really continue to promote Aspire and make it really special. And what really impresses me about Aspire is the professionalism and how people work and collaborate. And, I've always been very impressed. And, I want to really give high praise to everyone of the executive board for doing a really outstanding job. And without them, I'm thinking, where would we be right now? And we've really come a long way on this. And, I cannot thank you guys enough. And I really look forward to what the future holds for this company. And I'm really glad to be here and glad to meet some really wonderful people. And I'd be open to any questions.
What's your art form?
Well, believe it or not, lately I've been doing abstract paintings.
Oh, okay.
And
Visual arts.
yes, pretty much, and also landscaping. And 2 people who have really inspired me to do all these great pictures were Bob Ross, the great artist, painter Bob Ross, and my grandfather, who was a really big painter. And I basically do painting as a hobby.
All right. Thank
Someone
you.
else.
Thank you. Jason.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I want to thank Chair of the Board, Jeff Miller, and CEO Jim Kales, and Jason and Jesse. Please note, Jason and Jesse, that I have to have a written speech. You did really well without remarks, but I have a written speech. I want to thank everybody who works and is associated with this fire and is hosting us today. I think that Jim talked about the partners, so I won't go through that list again. We want to thank them because they joined with the county in creating the vision to transform this space into an innovative training and learning center. I also want to acknowledge my economic development bureau chief, Sophie Flores, who couldn't be with us today, but members of her team are here. So I'm going to ask them to stand. Deputy Director Dominic Tucci, thank you. Grants Coordinator Sylvia Farm. I'd also like to thank Susan Campbell, who could also not be with us today, but I want to thank her for her leadership on the project. So the county has maintained its commitment to support nonprofit partners in suburban Cook County by making improvements to their facilities, such as the one being celebrated today. We're proud to have invested more than $500,000 HUD Community Development Block Grants over the past 5 years. And as many of you who are with us today virtually and in person can see, the results are stellar. Cook County is always looking for innovative ways to support economic development initiatives that embody our values, and this space surely fits that goal. The county began a partnership with Aspire almost 20 years ago. Most recently, we've supported projects including the Weinberg Career Academy, where folks receive job training and are taught soft skills to help them get meaningful jobs and to stay employed. Aspire's mission to design programs for individuals who are often overlooked aligns with the county's goal to ensure equity and inclusion is at the forefront of everything that we do. From creating policy to developing frameworks for programming to how we design strong communities. More than 80% of the people with intellectual and developmental disabilities are unemployed. And the challenges of getting in front of an employer are exacerbated when there is no one to advocate for fairness. Aspire is working to ensure that people dealing with disabilities are included and acknowledged as a vital part of our communities. Aspire is using its work to create a space where their voices are heard, talents are valued, and skill sets are recognized. We're proud to support the work Aspire does to create inclusive workplaces in our community, and we'll continue to invest in programs that break barriers and provide a pathway to equity and fairness. Cook County, our own county, and beyond. Together, we're transforming our communities to be inclusive. Today is a representation of the strides we're making. Thank you very much.
So now we're going to do the ribbon cutting. Of course, doing this when we've got people doing this here virtually, you all are going to just have to bear with us as we try and include you in this process. But we're going to do the ribbon cutting, and then you're going to be really excited because I'm going to take this off. Our Chief Innovation Officer, Herb Washington, is going to lead all of you and President Procwinkle and everybody here on a tour of the new space. So we're going to go ahead with the ribbon cutting first. Yeah. Let me have, who's going to put it in?
I see a ribbon.
I see a ribbon and I see big scissors.
And we do that over here in front of where the camera's already set up? Yes. In front of the camera. Is that enough?
We're gonna do it this way.
No, but it should be in the back.
You've done this more than I have.
Everybody on this side. And everybody take a picture on the road. All right, come on, Dominic. Somebody get them out.
President.
No, that's right. No. Jason on this.
All right, great. Look at that.
Wow.
You're gonna want to give it a couple minutes, let them get some pictures and then.
Yeah, you gotta pretend you're doing it for a while.
Look out, Brendan. You know when.
On three, 1, 2, 3.
Good.
Do you want to take the stage?
Absolutely. Once it's out of the way. Trying to keep this off and my mask on because we're going to be in close proximity to each other. We have look at the space. A couple of really quick remarks before we walk through the space of the table center. So we've already spoke about our vision as Aspire, and President Freckles really reinforced the idea. And our vision is of a community where people of all abilities live, learn, and grow together. And we've all spoken about this idea of inclusion, and that's really what our vision is inclusion, equality, equity, and really amplifying the voice of people that need amplification to their voice in what we're considering the social justice movement. People with disabilities before COVID, while the rest of the world was enjoying historically low unemployment rates in the 3% range, people with disabilities had an unemployment rate 2.5 to 3 times that. And that's in the best of circumstances. During COVID, we've seen unemployment rates spike tremendously. And that proportionality of 2.5 to 3 times for people with disabilities, that remains. So you're talking about 45 to 50% of people with disabilities being unemployed during this time of COVID. 1 in 4 people in the United States have a disability. So about 25% of our population is folded into that. Yet only 20% of those people are employed at any given time. So there's a dire need to make sure that we're doing whatever we can to help people have a voice, develop the skills, and present opportunities for them to be included in the workforce and in all facets of life. One of the interesting things about employment is that it really is a gateway. It's a gateway to opportunity, a gateway to housing. It's a gateway to our own identity. It becomes part of our identity. When you meet someone after finding out who they are, one of the first things you ask is, well, what do you do? And we're not talking about what do you do on the weekends, what do you do recreationally, it's what do you do for work, what's your career? And the career becomes more than just a series of jobs over a few decades, it becomes part of who you are. And for people with disabilities, their answer is continuous at best. And so our Career Academy and the Agora is one solution that we're offering to help tackle that challenge. And so great to see you all and welcome to this space. And part of the inspiration for the Agora was to not only extend the work that we've done in the Career Academy to the physical confines of this building, but really to look at how do we take the learning, the training, the social capital building opportunities outside the 4 walls of this building and extend them all across Cook County, Chicagoland, the Midwest, the United States. So it's really building something bigger that's encapsulated in the 4 walls of brick and mortar. With that said, I'd like to walk you through the space and kind of give you a sense of what's here, why we designed it the way we designed it, and then of course field any questions that you may have. So I guess we'll start here since we're already here. This is the heart of the Agora. And Jim mentioned the definition of Agora as a gathering space, not only for socialization, but also for learning. And we wanted this gathering space to be more than just what happens here. So if you look around the room, you notice it is one big space. We can do group training sessions here, small group, large group. We have custom-built stadium stairs that allow flexibility for a large group meetings. We can move those around on casters. We can have separate groups happening. We can do small group and individual one-on-one meetings with employment specialists, vocational counselors, to make sure that our people are not only learning the skills they need, but also connecting with others. We also will leverage video conferencing technology so that we can offer the same training and connectivity virtually, so that folks who may be here are connecting with people all across the county, all across the Midwest, all across the United States, building social capital with people who are on the same journey they're on towards meaningful and gainful employment. The Agora, from a design perspective, you notice above me, there's these sound clouds. They're beautiful, they're pretty, and they're not just an aesthetic element. They actually help to buttress the sound in the space. We take into account sensory challenges that people may experience in spaces, and this helps to buttress the sound and keep it localized as well. In the center of this Agora space, there's a circular light. This mirrors an image that we have, a circular light that we created that as well, and it mirrors this idea of compass. So there's some directionality to the Agora, to the Career Academy, in terms of here's the training, here's the opportunity, and there's now direction in one's life in pursuing the goals of employment and being out in the community. One of the great things that I want to point out too is as you look around the room, we've designed it so it's fully accessible. That's why it's a big, wide open space. We want to break down barriers wherever we can. Not only barriers around employment and community inclusion, but also physical barriers to space. So this space is designed so people who utilize mobility can navigate it seamlessly and effortlessly. We also have, again, I mentioned a variety of seating options for folks. As we turn our attention from where we're at now and kind of move over this way, so everyone can be rotate the hallway. One of the things we wanted to do was extend the training opportunities that we have that are industry specific from the academy over to the Agora. And so we took essentially what was a large concrete rectangle and made it into a beautiful space, including this, which is our commercial laundry training facility. I'll kind of turn the light on so everyone can take a look. I'll keep talking as you venture in there, but the idea here was to give people an opportunity to work in hospitality and working in industries that prepare uniforms and carpets for companies or university athletic programs, et cetera, where they can learn this skill and take it with them everywhere they go. Now we think, well, why laundry, right? So for those reasons that I just mentioned for most industries, but also it teaches a life skill. It also gives people an opportunity to incorporate measuring and basic mathematics skills, sequencing, and those are some of the soft skills that we want people to take with them, regardless of the hard skill that they're learning at any given time. One of the biggest components that's often overlooked when you do these projects, and I'm saying this in jest, but it's really true, is the basic functions, right? Such as a washroom. So we made sure as part of our project to also renovation washrooms that we have here, so that they also are just as vibrant and welcoming as the rest of the space, because those rooms are going to get used more frequently, probably, than a lot of the spaces. We want to make sure that they match the look, the feel, and function of the rest of our spaces as well. So, in essence, what we'd like to do is utilize this space. Under normal circumstances, of course, this is vibrant and buzzing with energy and people learning side by side, people with disabilities learning side by side with our instructors, with volunteers from companies, community organizations in the community. Again, that inclusive model. Obviously with COVID, that's a little bit different, but it really has given us an opportunity to think, how do we again push this beyond the barriers of walls and extend it to the virtual community as well. So with that said, if there's any questions, love to field them. There's obviously Aspire team members here who also can field any questions that anyone may have specifically. And that concludes the tour of the Agora.
All right, thank you.